This is the UTG Recon Flex Gen 2, an m-lok compatible bipod that offers the shooter a very stable and rigid shooting rest that is both portable and compact. And we're going to look at it today on this episode. These are the UTG Recon Flex 2 bipods, and they are, as the name implies, an update of their Recon Flex bipods. And this is the retail box that you get. Let's take a look at what's inside. I want to thank UTG for sending this out to me for a test and evaluation. Okay, so we have two bipods. These are m-lok. And they attach directly onto your handguard. And it comes with a manual and an Allen wrench. So let's take a look at these legs here. Now, each of these squares here is an inch, and they are a little over 8 inches. Well, for measuring from the pivot point here. So they are about 7 inches, and they extend over to 9 inches. And if I can activate this, yes, these have the new spring-loaded feet. So they pop out with this spring here. Otherwise, they are not under any tension internally. You can see here. So that's easier to push down, unlike some models of fake Harris bipods. These you won't have to fight to get them to the height that you want. They have springs at the bottom of the legs, and that by compressing them is what gives you that pop-out effect. So you do have to press them all the way down. The feet are rubberized, and they are made to swap out for spikes should you choose to have them. The legs themselves are segmented, so each of these little indents here index to the locking mechanism here, so that's how you can determine height. But also it has fine tuning, so this is a tightening screw here. So if you want to have the legs stop in between each of these segment points, you can use this dial here to lock it in. So that's a nice feature, definitely a nice feature. And the legs themselves go both ways. I'm sure that's phrasing there, but when you have this on your handguard, you pull down on this this collar here, and that releases your leg. You can have them deploy them forward, backwards. That way you can pre-tension them to whichever height or type of resistance you want, or as well as stow them away. And let's see here. These little raised blocks here. These fit into your m-lok slots and provide additional recoil lugs for your legs. So this will definitely looks like it is very robust and should easily handle heavier full rifle-sized caliber rifles. So if you have a 308 or even bigger, this should be fine. This is all aluminum, aircraft grade aluminum, and let me just grab a magnetic charger base here. So the screws and the pivot points are magnetic, the rest is aluminum. Yep. It's all aluminum except for the screws. So there you go. We're going to take this out to the range, and I'm going to put this on my rifle, and we're going to test it out. We're at the San Mateo Sheriff's Range to test out the bipod on my CZ457, and while we walk back to the 100-yard benches, I want to ask you to please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's your best way to override and take control of big tech's AI, which tends to suppress a lot of firearms videos like mine. By hitting like and subscribe, you're telling the AI what you like to watch, and it will suggest more videos like this as opposed to cat videos, unless that's your thing. So it takes a little practice to quick deploy this. That's probably the biggest downside to this overall design. But as you can see, you can position it in various ways to pre-tension it and also to quickly lower it by angling it. Of course, you can also lower it by retracting the legs to each of the different segments, or taking it out one segment at a time as you need it. And it is fairly quick to stow. Not as fast as, say, a Harris bipod, but this is a slightly different design. One thing I did note, though, the way that the release here on the top of the legs is positioned, when it is in a retracted position, it is a little hard to grasp it. I wish there was a little bit more knurling at the top here. It is fairly smooth. To be able to grasp it, position it correctly, so it takes a little bit of practice, and if I was wearing gloves, it might be a little difficult. I set myself up in a firing position at 100 yards with my CZ457. Now, while this rifle doesn't have a lot of recoil, it's still a good test for this bipod in another respect. If you've ever shot 22 at 100 yards, you know that you need a good, stable platform to get any sort of decent groups. And rigid stability and repeatability is what this particular bipod does best. Because of its side-mounted design, this bipod will not cant. It has to stay straight, so once you have it level, it'll stay level. So depending on your shooting style, this may be exactly what you need. So what do I think of the UTG Recon Flex 2? It has all the best features of the Recon Flex, except I would change one thing. The locking color on the legs could use a little more flaring or more aggressive texturing, but otherwise it is a worthy improvement. It has lower legs that are spring-loaded to deploy very quickly. And it has feet that are designed from the get-go to be user-replaceable, either with spikes or pads or what have you. And best of all, it's still affordable. And if you're interested in picking up a set of these bipods, I've included product links in my blog article at moondogindustries.com. And if you got something out of this video, if you found it to be entertaining or informative, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Thanks again for watching. You be safe out there. Moondog, out. We can all do our part to strengthen our sport by taking a noob to the range. Introduce them to a new hobby in a fun, safe way. Start by sharing this video with them on forums, Facebook, TikTok, Telegram, whatever. And if you want to see all of my videos, check out moondogindustries.com.